you are seeking professional employment, if you hear nothing of what I've said today, hear this. If you are seeking professional employment, or if you have any professional career development, which I would assume that's most people, but some people just love what they're doing, they're chilling, cool. You need to be on LinkedIn. In fact, I would say that you could probably take lighter fluid to match to your resume and drop it in the wastebasket and spend 90 to 95% of your time building your LinkedIn profile. Is it a necessary evil? It's the only evil. And I don't think it's evil at all. In fact, I love it. I think it's, I've been on LinkedIn a long time, and they've been making some great adjustments to it. I think I don't want to but there was a change in ownership of that business recently, and I think that was one of the greatest changes. It really opened up the platform, and it's made it completely dynamic. So now it's social, career, engagement. It's got so many pillars, and it's growing exponentially. So I believe LinkedIn is probably, it will be your window to the world. It will be your billboard. I use billboards all the time when I talk about LinkedIn. It's like, so if you're probably the three biggest things to kind of bring it back to focus, and I'll use a billboard analogy, right? When you're talking about a billboard, what matters? Size of your billboard, the creative on your billboard, but what's the most important thing? Where is your billboard, right? Is it on Route 20 from here to Timbuktu, or is it on Interstate 95 between New York and Philadelphia? Big difference. I don't care how good your creative is. I don't care how big your billboard is. But if it's not on the right highway at the right time, nobody's ever going to see it. And so that's why there's three pillars, I think, to being successful on LinkedIn. Number one, being extremely thorough with your keywords and your description of what you've done and what you want to do. That's number one. Number two, this is also as important, if not more important than number one, is the number of connections you have and who your connections are. That to me is equally as important. And then the third piece, and this is, I think, 2 and 3 require work. And that's what, what happens with things. It's like, everything's easy if it doesn't require work. But when it requires work, that's why there's some cream rises to the top and some doesn't. We spend hours a day here making connections on LinkedIn. Hours a day. There's only 8 in a day, by the way. So it's a lot of time. And I believe that having those connections, that to me is the gas on the engine of your race car, or the highway that your billboard is on. So the more connections you have, and people are always like, well, I only connect with people that I've worked with and that I've met personally and that I've actually, I've gone to dinner with. And it's going to be a small network. Granted, it's going to be a very tight highway with people that only on that highway. But guess what? When there's somebody else out there who's got, 25,000 connections, their billboard's going to be seen more. That's just the facts. That's just numbers. And so I'm a big believer in connecting more. Now, obviously, if there's a sketchy person or something, but most people have an ometer for that. So just be careful with that. But I would also say, make sure that the descriptive words on your resume or on your LinkedIn profile are as descriptive and exhaustive as possible. And then lastly is the engagement piece. Don't just set it and forget it. You have to interact. Post, comment, share, join groups, use LinkedIn Learning's platform, apply for jobs. All of those things make up the sphere of who you are. So once again, and I'll bring it, the last thing I'll say on this is resume was one dimension, okay? Job boards, 2 dimensions, because you had that and you had the ability to interact, right? Now you've got LinkedIn. It's the magic 3rd and 4th dimension, which is it has a description, it has a picture, it also gives you the ability to interact, and guess what? It shows you exactly in a nutshell what this person's all about, right? So it gives you the 4th dimension. The depth to that person, right? Nobody's one-dimensional, right? Everybody has sides. We're all 3-dimensional. So I think it's absolutely the future. To go back to what I said before about technology, LinkedIn's a technology platform. If the lights go out, I could be wrong, but I don't see him going anytime soon.